Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk. I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50, where we talk about relationships, dating advice, and so on and so forth. Now, on this particular episode, I like to call this one Love or for the Money. I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50. Greetings and blessings to all. Now, recently I was watching a podcast called I Am Athlete. Which is I've grown to really like this podcast. It's with a bunch of former NFL players, and they talk about different topics. Now on this particular one, they had their spouses. You know, Chad Ochocinco, had his girlfriend. He's not married, but the other guys were married. So basically, it was I guess you could say a meeting of the minds where the women spoke their mind. And the women were basically saying, like, you're not spending quality time with us or whatever. And those guys were basically saying, like, Brandon Marshall and Channing Crowder and those guys, they were saying, like, look, and Antonio Cromartie, they were saying, like, we get up like 5 in the morning. We do all these things at the facility. By the time we get home, 6 o'clock, we dead tired, you know. And the women are saying, no, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. All right. And even when they kept, debating, one of the spouses was like, well, you're supposed to pick me over football because when football's done, I'm going to hold you down. And then at the end, one of them just said it, all came out and said, oh, this is not free anyway. Because it was the question was Brandon Marshall said, I believe it might have been Brandon Marshall, said, how is it that we can go to all of these, meetings on time, but we late for date night or whatever? And dude said, easy, because we're getting paid to do that. And notice I said, and despite all this argument, the one wife says at the end, it ain't for free. So basically, she showed her true colors. Now, this is why and where I say, is it love or the money? We live in a free country, free will. You're free to do whatever it is you like. It's just that simple. Free choice. You can, there's no law that says you got to be with somebody for love, right? So let's call it what it is. These guys are very successful and make millions of dollars. When you're in the field that they are, it's hard, unless you're just with the person you was with when you was in high school. It is what it is. More than likely, the person is with you because of what you can do for them. So when I say, is it the love or the money? When I'm watching these young ladies complain, I'm like, come on. Because you know why you're with these gentlemen. No disrespect to them. I'm not saying they can't get a woman, but it is what it is. So I feel like in that regard, if you're a woman, you have to understand what is it that you want and be able to live with what you want. Because when you want one thing, just know you're not going to get it all. It's just like being an entertainer. If you want to be an entertainer, nothing wrong with that. But just know if you cross that bridge of being an entertainer, that threshold, and you become successful, you're not going to be able to do some of the things that regular people do, like just go in Walmart and go shopping, or just go in the mall, in the food court and sit down, because that's part of what goes along with the job title you chose. And I feel like a lot of times when these women who want money, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we're not turning this into even though it is gold digging, I'm not tripping. Get your money, because if the man is willing to give you the money, there's no crime in that. But what I'm saying is, understand what you want. I don't like when a woman tries to They want one thing, but then they want that too. No, we're not having that. When you're dealing with a successful man, he more than likely he doesn't work the traditional 9 to 5, 7 to 3 type of hours. Hell, if you're a woman dealing with the head manager of Publix, they work 70, 80 hours a week because they got to be at meetings. They got to do paperwork. They got to do inventory. So yeah, if that 95 to 80 to 85 to whatever thousand a year is good to you and you enjoy that, give that man a break when he come home. These football players are basically saying, look, for me to be at my best, I have to be totally focused during the season. If this is the lifestyle you want, shut up and enjoy the lifestyle. You can't have it all. If you want somebody that's going to be spending lovey-dovey and spending all their time with you, get a regular man that works 8 to 5 and see how that works. But you're not going to be able to get a man who makes all this money. How do you think he makes it? No, seriously, how do you think he makes it? He's got to have his nose to the gristle to get what he's getting. So you're not going to get him every day. These are not regular people. You have to understand, men and women, whoever you choose to date, that's you. But know what you're getting into and accept those rules. You can't, as a woman, say, I want a man with money, and you got that, but then you like, the sex is not that great. Look, you wanted money. No matter how you put it, even though you may not have said it, you essentially chose money as your main priority. So you cannot be tripping about what's going on in the bedroom. All that other stuff is whatever. That's extra. You got your money. Be quiet. You're not going to get everything, and that's what relationships are about. You ultimately have to come to the conclusion that this is what I want. And these things over here, I gotta have. These things over here is like secondary. And that's it. End of story. You get what you want and you shut the hell up. That's it. You're not going to be able to get this rich person who makes all this money and then be able to spend all day with you. Make love to you all day. No. That's not how this works. It ain't. And when I'm watching this, I'm like, this is all foolishness. Because these women know what these men have to do to make this money. But yet you don't want them to be focused. But yet you know, and everybody else knows, including them, why you're with them. And they're pretty much saying, look, go shopping. Enjoy the house. You got this big house. What you tripping about? You can't be tripping. You got what you wanted. You got your money. You got the lifestyle. You're not going to get attention all the time. It just is what it is. It is what it is. You cannot have everything. You have to come to a conclusion. Be honest with yourself. What do you want? And what is secondary? If you got to have attention, you got to have good sex, well, then maybe the money for you isn't on the top tier of the list. But whatever it is, you got to be honest with yourself. Guys, too, if you meet a girl in a strip club and y'all wind up dating, that's your freedom of choice to date her. But just know, she's a stripper. She can't stop dancing and sitting on dudes' laps just because she's dating you. That's not how this works. So don't forget to like and subscribe, leave comments. And as always, peace, love, and whatever else you think of love.